What's happening, good people? All right, today we got a good one. It's a tearjerker. Nah, just for me. So I had a weird experience this past week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. My mom came over to my house and she dropped off an envelope of some stuff of mine, right? I didn't really know what it was. And we talked a little bit. She visited with my kids, and then she left. And I opened up that envelope later on that evening, and there was some really cool stuff in there. Some like old school punk rock band show flyers from back in the day, all handwritten, hand drawn, handwritten directions and all kinds of cool stuff. Some good memories, and there's a lot of prom pictures and whatnot. And so I started reflecting on those, and then I came to a pullout from my yearbook that had a bunch of things written by other students and other friends, at the end of the year. And man, I started going back in time and I started remembering how I was in high school. And I was looking at all these wonderful things people were writing about me, people that I cared about, girlfriends and girls I wanted to be friends with. And, they had nothing but great things to say about me. And it wasn't reciprocated, man. It was not. I completely pushed away all those good people, and that brought up a wound. Something that had been injuring me for 30 some years, and I didn't even really even know it. I didn't know how to even address it, much less repair it or heal it. And I just reflected and really went back in time to kind of understood where my mindset was then and who I am today. And then I came across two letters, and they're both from my school counselor, like our religious counselor at the time. I went to a private school, and it was from my senior retreat. So I thought, oh shit, here I'm getting ready to read this letter from my counselor. And I didn't have good relationships with anybody in my school, especially the staff. Some of the kids, yeah, of course, but the staff, they did not like me too much, and vice versa. I was kind of like an outsider. Anywho, so I'm getting ready to read this letter. I'm thinking, oh man, what is this person going to be saying about me? But I had to read it. It was there. Yeah, I'm an adult now. I have to read this thing. So I start reading it, and I get maybe 4 or 5 sentences into it and realize, holy shit, this is not a letter from a counselor. It's a letter from my dad. It was so hard. My dad passed maybe 2011, I think, 12, 13. And everyone in my family, everyone loved my dad. I mean, my family and everyone else. He was the best ever. But I didn't have a great relationship with my family back then either. I was definitely a kid who's looking to jump into the big world of danger and excitement and have as much fun as possible. And everybody else was just holding me back. That's the way my mindset was, then. And so he wrote me this beautiful letter and I read it. And, yeah, it was very, very tough. It was beautiful, but very tough. And I cried a lot. I self reflected some more and pulled myself together. And then I came across the second letter. This letter was smaller envelope, also addressed by my guidance counselor. So I was once again like, what is this going to be? And it turned out it was a letter from my brother. And that was like, bam, the final blow, right? I mean, it was hard reading this from him because although we're very much alike and we have such a great bond now, then it was very tough going. Back then in high school, I mean, he was doing his own thing, and I was trying to top that tenfold. And 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 now in not great ways, some very good ways, athletics and whatnot, but some, as far as the excitement level, you know he was more reserved and had better friendships, and I was like the partier, just go get it guy. So in any event, I cried a lot more. It was very hard, and I ended that night off. That evening, during the night, I had an amazing dream, a dream that follows something that a friend of mine who's on YouTube has a beautiful tarot channel. named the High Priestess Healing Tarot, if anybody wants to check it out. And she had a show today that where she talked about healing old ancestral and this life wounds. We don't sometimes wounds that we don't even know that we have, and it's good just to address them, and the healing will come naturally. But if you never even address it, that wound will never heal, will never go away. And that show came out today. But here I was on Monday going through that exact same scenario, one that I had no clue even existed. I don't know anything about ancestral wounds or even life wounds. I just carry on with life and just try to do the best I can, leave the past in the past as best as possible. Well, I realized through her help and in life that that's not true. You got to address stuff, and sometimes it can just be a simple way, but it has to be done. So again, I had this dream. I'm sitting at this table with my family, my entire family, my dad who's passed, my mom, my brother, and I'm acknowledging the absolute amazing opportunity that they all had given me, to have this opportunity in high school to have all these wonderful experiences and deep, lasting relationships with all these wonderful people, and I squander it. These people would have done anything for me. These people loved, some cherished me, and I spit on all of them. Even the good friends in high school, I only treated as a way to have fun with each other, but I had no plans with them long term down the road. As soon as I was out of high school, see ya. I'm going to the NBA, or I'm gonna go do this, do that. I mean, whatever it is, I'm out. These people were like dorks and geeks, and I'm the one who's gonna, make the world on fire. And it's a terrible mindset. It was horrible. Looking back, I could have done I could have done both. I could have been the party guy, and I could have had great relationships with everybody, including the dorks and the nerds. And had friends with that, with everybody, meaningful relationships that I could still call on today and go out to dinners or maybe even share vacations. But I burned it all to the ground. I hated that school. I hated everything that was in it, and I acted accordingly. It was totally wrong. But in this dream, I got to acknowledge that. I got to acknowledge my parents and my brother giving me this wonderful opportunity, even though I squandered it. And I also got to apologize to them one by one. I got to look them in the eyes and tell them, I know this was an opportunity given to me. I know I squandered it, and I am sorry. I'm sorry that I gave it all up, and I took advantage of all your kindness and all your sacrifice to make this happen for me, and I didn't take advantage of it. And I got to apologize for my behaviors, my relationships with them at the time, and it was a horrible. It was a wonderful dream, but it was very hard. But it was also a golden opportunity. I was given the opportunity to apologize for something and to start healing this wound that's been eating at me and injuring me for over 30 years. And so I have some more to do in real life, right? With these same people. I have some apologizing to them in the flesh, obviously. But I was given this opportunity to put one foot forward and make something right with my creator. And I offer you that same opportunity, that everybody who listens to this can look inside to something they have in the past that they might not have considered, needs to be addressed. And even just by the small step of acknowledging it and then apologizing for it to yourself and to God will start the ball rolling down to true healing. So I want to give a thanks to everybody who shared this wisdom in this path. Thank you very much. Much love.